So here we have a front window replacement. It's a single pane glass. It's been here probably as long as the house has, in the 1970s. I'm going to be replacing it with a dual pane. And unfortunately, this was a brick house built, but they covered the brick with a real thick layer of stucco. So to get this window out of here, I've got to chip away all this extra stucco around it. And then when I put the new one in, I'll have to rebuild the stucco area. So just so you know what I'm using here, just a regular grinder, battery operated. I've got a blade or a wheel on it that is a diamond bit. It seems to work best on this concrete / metal netting that they use in the stucco. This is actually what this stucco is made of. You've got a metal mesh at the bottom, and then they pile the stucco on it, and the mesh kind of holds it in place. So I'm cutting through the stucco and trying to get through this metal also, so it just peels off with a sledgehammer. Alright, so I'm done with all the grinding. You can see I gotta clear the path of the stucco. Up here, it's just the window is against the header, so I don't have to do anything there except for maybe cut the sealant tomorrow before I put the window in. And then it's just sealed against the concrete or the bricks on the other three sides. So just a matter of cutting a little sealant around four sides, and on the inside I'll remove the blinds and the curtains and cut the seal around the inside, the caulking, and then just a matter of hammering the window out. Some windows are screwed in through the sill, but I'll find out what this one's like tomorrow. I'll remove this post here, that post there, there's screws on them. Take out the individual side windows first, and then try to get the rest of the thing out here without breaking the glass. I'll be back on camera tomorrow after the window arrives. Later. Alright, so window came in. I'm ready to remove the rest of the window here. And then we're gonna pop that one in and get it going. Alright, so I popped those little side windows out and started carefully using a mallet on the main posts on each side of that glass. They're kind of slid in and sealed inside those posts. I had to use this little pry bar carefully to separate the metal piece that slid into that upright post on both sides until it finally came out. As I mentioned, these windows have been in here for a while, so it was a little difficult, but patience overcame. After that, did a little cleaning to get some of the junk out of the track there, and then there's some screws that you got to undo that kind of hold it in place on top and bottom, both sides. Once you get those out, it allows that to push it up and then pull it out of the bottom track. And all right, so now that I have the window out, I'm gonna just use a chisel and a 4-pound beater and just beat the frame out of the position it's in. clean up the debris that it leaves underneath, and we'll put the next window in. All right, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It might be, yeah, well, just wherever.
1, 2, 3.
Go. Are you inside?
No. That's okay. I'll hold it over there. You try to put it in.
All right.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, it is all up against the inside here. It's like the that side needs to go a little more, but alright, if you want to just hold it in place here, kind of in the middle, I'm going to get the level real quick. Good, looking good. Perfecto. All right. So since it is level, I'm just going to throw a few shims in just to hold it in place. Let go of it and see how. All right, I'm going to put the sliders in and make sure that they slide properly. But I'm going to need you to hold this so the window doesn't come out on me right now.
Okay.
I just want to make sure they slide good before I start sealing it.
Este está al revés, mi amor.
Yes. Alright, so I've got some shims holding it in place. It's level. I'm going to use some window and door grate stuff. It's a foam that'll dry solid and seal all the cracks and crevices and hold the window in place even better than it is. I may shoot a few other spots here that don't look like they ended up getting halfway, like over on this side, and then call it a night. I'll get you back on camera tomorrow. Later. Alright, so here we are next day, and I started trimming off some of the excess. You're supposed to fill it 50%. Sometimes it's hard to judge what 50% is, and it spills out a little bit. And I'm talking about the foam sealer that I put around the window last night. So I already started like taking a razor and just clipping the edges of it and then cleaning it up, because the next step after this is putting caulking around the window sill, which will finish up the seal, both inside and outside caulking. So this stuff is super easy to clean up. I just take this and run it down the edge here. Just a regular razor. And then take a little putty knife and just hit the outside and see how easy that popped off there. And that's it. All right, so day 3, I've given that sealant around the window enough time to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and caulk it. I've already caulked the inside of the window, and now I'll show you about the outside. So as I mentioned, I cleaned up a little bit of the foam sealant that escaped out the outside of the window, and I've already caulked this side here. I wasn't too happy with the initial application. I might put another one over it later. This stuff dries quickly, and especially out here in the Arizona heat. It's, you know, high 90s today in the shade. So the next application I do, I'll just do a little bit, smooth it out, and go and do a little more, smooth it out with my finger, because I did this whole line here, and when I went back up here, there was already a crust forming on the top of the caulking, so it kind of like, well, you can see what it kind of did. I'll probably go back over it later with a smoother coat, try to smooth it out a little. So I'm not the best caulker. In fact, I think I need a lot more practice, but one thing I have learned is that how you cut the tip is dependent on how wide a project you have to work with. For instance, the left side of the window there was closer to the brick than others are. Inside, I just barely cut a little bit of the tip off, just because the window's all the way up against the existing drywall, so I just needed a fine little bead. In some spots here I need a wider bead, so this tip isn't going to work all that well, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it a little wider here before I get started on the rest of it. And here we go. A little bit wider tip. We're going to get this done. Alright, so we're gonna call this one done. I'm just showing you the inside caulking job. We'll go outside, check it out. So the outside, I'm getting better at this caulking thing, but I'm still not totally pleased with my results. But as the old adage goes, practice makes perfect. And I know I'll get to that point sooner or later. The good thing about caulking is when I do repaint the house, I'm gonna throw some stucco on here just to kind of clean up that look there, and I'll tape up all the way around the windowsill so the caulking gets painted over anyway. And that's it. Thanks for watching.